Hi, I'm Chelsea Hewsome, your host of the Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and mom of two. And I'm so tired of women not feeling like they can show up as fully expressed versions of themselves. So here, we're all about that unapologetically, because honestly, we don't have time not to. Literally, because we're busy as F moms and entrepreneurs, but also figuratively, because we don't know how much time we have on this planet, and we want to make an impact now. But if we're doing this, we're making it real vibes only. So let's get inspired, laugh our asses off, quite possibly cry, and feel like you're sitting on the couch with your bestie and a glass of wine. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Lip Service and Lashes podcast. Today, I'm joined by Dalysha Collins. Dalysha is my half-sister. She's a military spouse, mom of two girls, accounting professional, aspiring business owner, and a real estate investor. We're diving into motherhood, mom guilt, personal growth, and what it takes to build a life and career you love. Hello, Dalysha.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
I guess first I have so many questions, but first we got to spend some really good time together recently. So let's dive
We did.
into the recent retreat that you made the trip from North Dakota to come to. So that was just, I will always treasure that time, like such a special time for us as sisters, but then, for you as a person too, right?
Yes.
So tell me, in this retreat, we were in the mountains in Colorado. Like, what surprised you the most when you were there?
I think one for me, like how emotional it was, like right off the bat, for my mom guilt. Like that's only the second time. My oldest will be 9 in September, then my youngest will be 7 in October. So the mom guilt, like of leaving them, was hard for me. The only other time I've like planned and left them was last year. I went for my great grandma's 106th birthday, but that's like the first extended time I really went somewhere and did something for me. And it was amazing that I did that. It was really life changing for me. And like, I really brought things back with me, like taking time for myself, started journaling, really started making a routine for myself to do things like that, and realizing it's okay to like put myself first at times, or like saying that I need this time or I have to do something for myself. And I would have never done that before.
Yeah, I love that. And I was so proud of you because the first day, I know it was hard, and you were the first person in the circle to go, and then you just started crying, and which I do that too. So like we're very similar in that way. We wear our hearts on our sleeve, but you really actually set the tone for the retreat to be like, "Hi, I'm here. I'm just all in. Like, I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to be fake. Like, I'm struggling right now." And that first day you were really having a hard time. And then we did breath work and all this stuff. And the second day you just seemed a lot lighter, like kind of more like at peace with your decision to be there. Right.
Yeah, so like I felt like the first day for a lot of people was like really emotional.
Yes.
Everybody like really put into being there to the retreat. And a lot of women did come up to me and say, like, you really set the tone, like you made it comfortable to show our emotions, to make this like a safe space.
Yeah.
And all of the women were so welcoming and so amazing and made it like a safe space. You could tell there was no judgment. You could tell that everybody was so welcoming and loving, which I think kind of made it okay to break down and cry. You could just sense their energy. Like you could tell that not anybody was like there with judgment or, And so, and yes, after we did like the new moon and intentions, and we did the breath work, and we all just sat and talked and did all the workshops that day. The next day I did feel like so much lighter and was just happier and ready to take on the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that. That was like what I was hoping for people. Like, let's kind of get in the stuff that is hard the
Hmm.
first day, and then hopefully, yeah, show up lighter. So I love that. And so you have two daughters. Like, what does that now mean after going through that weekend, having it be hard, having the mom guilt? Like, what does that mean to you that to show them for your daughters now?
Well, so it's funny because like my oldest doesn't like to show her emotions, and then my
Mm,
youngest does. My youngest is
yeah.
emotional. And we try to tell like our oldest, like, it's okay to show your emotions. You have to, whether you have to find somebody to feel
Yeah.
comfortable with. And so she's kind of finding like her own way to show things. And my youngest sometimes like overshares or kind of weaponizes sometimes her emotions.
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to teach her like the proper way to show them. But when I came home, my youngest was like, please don't ever leave, never leave
Oh,
again. And I said, but wasn't it good for you to spend time, just one-on-one time with dad?
for
I said it
sure.
was good for mom too to like go away, and it was good for you guys to have that time with dad, just you guys, and build your relationship. Well, yeah. I'm like, okay, so it's good for everybody. Everybody needs that time. I said, just like when dad goes hunting and us girls get to have just our time and we build forts and color and stuff. I said, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I,
Like,
and
go
so
on.
I'm like, we all have to just have our own time to decompress.
Yep. And like showing them like a lot of people recharge maybe having alone time or maybe yeah, like you took time to go to a retreat, which wasn't like alone time, but it's just like a different way to pour into yourself. And that's
Hmm.
so I just think showing girls especially and boys, like and my boys, like we all need to do things to fill ourselves up, take time, for ourselves and our family, but we're no good for the family if we can't
Hmm.
pour into ourselves also. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I love that you're showing them that. All
Yeah.
right. So I want to talk I want to talk military spouse life because
Oh,
that is
yeah.
a whole thing and we have a lot of military in our family, so I
We
I
do.
get to talk about this, but or I hear and understand this, but like what has military life taught you about resilience?
A lot of people don't talk about military spouses. They only talk about like the actual service members,
Yes,
or you have like the service members who discredit what the spouses go through.
for sure.
And if you don't have the spouse who holds the fort down while you're away, like
Mhm.
you don't really have anything. And a lot of times when they come home, even whenever they leave for courses for months at a time and they come home, they're used to not being here. And it's a huge adjustment. And so they're used to doing their own thing in their own schedule for months. And you're used to your own schedule with
Mhm.
you and your kids, and it's an adjustment. And so you guys have to then come back together and figure it out and
Yeah.
figure out a schedule together. And um, I mean, Kyle and I have spent 6 months at a time apart or a long time apart. And
Mhm.
then you kind of have to figure out each other too again.
Yeah.
Um, and almost start dating. And sometimes people don't do that. And so we didn't do that when we first got like married. And we have learned throughout our time being married that you have to continue to date each other,
Mhm.
or especially being a military couple, like it can die hard and die fast. And if
Yep.
you're in a hard set of orders, then it can really be hard. And you have to have communication too. Like a lot of people give him a hard time, or even just I've seen other couples, like when the service member really talks to the spouse about what's going on, or they just have a lot of open communication. They like to give them a hard time, like, oh, you talked to your wife about that, or you talked to your
Mm,
spouse. And I'm like,
really?
yeah, it's healthy. It's good
That's a
because
good
then
thing, guys. Yeah, that's a really good
they
thing.
feel connected in what's going on in their life, and they don't feel
Mhm.
left out. And then you guys just feel closer at the end of the day, and it's easier than whenever the spouse feels left out.
For sure. And like the service person, they need support, and if they're deployed or they're away from their family, they need support, but also the people at home need support too. And it's almost like you're like you said, like reacclimating and
Hmm.
refiguring out how to fit as the
Yeah.
family when you're all together again, because it is like you get in your way and they get in their way, right? And
Yeah, you
that could
guys want to
create
be
resentment or something,
you yeah, you guys want to be each other's safe space and best friend at as
yes.
much as you can, and
Hmm.
find that way to continue to be there for each other.
For sure, for sure. So talk to me about, and this will go into my next question, but it's also, I know from you, and then my cousin's wife too, as a military spouse, you move every few years. So talk
Yeah.
to me about you having to restart your career, and you know what I mean? That's a really
Hmm.
difficult thing, because it almost feels like you're always, when you're moving, many military spouses are feeling like they're starting over.
So we've moved 5 times in 10 years. Um, a lot of places we haven't even made it to the 2-year mark. We've been, I guess, fortunate to where we've been in North Dakota 2 years in a
Hmm.
couple days. And we'll be here one more year to where it's actually kind of nice to be somewhere
Yeah,
a
you
little
can like
longer.
breathe, like exhale a little bit, right?
I know. I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is nice, like a little stability for a couple
Yeah.
years." But I know it sounds really weird, but a lot of people will not hire you once they find out you are a military spouse, because they know that you're leaving in a couple years, or you say you're going to be here for 3 years, and it's not your fault, but the needs of the army says otherwise, and you're
Yep.
just gone. That's what's
Hmm.
happened to me. But then I've talked to other people, and they say military spouses are the hardest working people they've ever hired, and they will by far always hire a military spouse if they apply. So it's hard, but every time we almost move, I start at the bottom and have
Hmm.
to work my way back up, and it's like defeating too when you move, because you put in like hundreds and hundreds of resumes and get these rejection letters over and over again, to where it like almost sends you into a depression and a spiral. um because it's like, you're so good at what you do, you're so worth it, and then you can't even help provide for your family, or like you keep getting all these rejection letters, and
Hmm.
so it then you'd finally get one, but you're barely making any money, but you take it anyway because it's some better than nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's like, you're supporting your spouse, right? And their demanding job, but
Hmm.
then you're holding, like you said, you're holding down the fort. You're like helping at home so much. That's a full-time
Yes,
job in itself. But then yeah, it's like, then every time you move, like you're almost forced to start over, like you said, at the bottom, and like work your way up, as long as, and you don't know how long you're going to be there. You can tell them, like you
exactly.
said, but it could change. And it is hard. So what you've had some pretty exciting like shifts and ideas since a
Yeah.
retreat. So and this will really, I think you're setting the foundation for you, so you
Hmm.
don't have to start from the bottom every time, right? And have that. So tell me,
Yes.
like, what are you working on?
So it's funny because I work for a home builder. I do all their accounting and books. But we are moving next summer,
Hmm.
anywhere between April and September. And I took my kids to a play date, and the dad is a home builder. He owns the company, and he suggested, "Hey, why don't you open your own company?" And I was like, I'd
Like,
never really
huh.
thought of that. Like, that's a
What an
great
idea.
idea." And so we are taking the steps actually to opening our own bookkeeping company. I'm filing for my LLC today.
Ooh,
Um, I actually have to do two of them because we are military.
okay.
Out of our home of record.
Okay.
And then you have to have a foreign LLC out of the state that you live in to perform services out of that state.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
So, and
when,
then
oh, sorry, go ahead.
so when we move, you dissolve it out of that state, and then whatever state we move to, we then get a new one out of that
Okay.
state.
To like
Hmm.
operate in that state. But you have like the
Yes.
home state base is like the more or less, but then you have to like, yeah, just depending on the
Yeah. So
state.
your home base state, that's the one you file taxes out of.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
your foreign LLC is just the one that you're actually like performing, where
The
we are
work.
basically work living out of.
Yeah. Okay. And
Hmm.
so what is your like vision for this company? Like what in if you could like 5, 10 years, like what do you hope that this becomes? Like what's your goal?
So really, because I sat down and met with him this week
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of picked his brain. A lot of bookkeepers only know like QuickBooks, and they don't know the construction or remodeling software called
Mm-hmm.
Builder Trend that I do know.
Okay.
And so I can help on both sides, which is nice. And so I would love to maybe be able to hire a couple people and
Mm-hmm.
really get it to grow into like an actual firm.
Yeah, I think you totally can. I mean,
Yeah.
that's so cool because now you will have this thing that you've built. You can do it. I mean, with the internet, like you can work from
Yes.
anywhere, and now you're not having to
Hmm.
start over. You're just now leveraging that and keep building it and keep building it. I love that.
Exactly. And in 5 years, this is going to sound crazy. 5 years, Kyle will be retired out of the military.
Yeah.
So he'll be starting like a whole new career,
Mm-hmm.
and who knows where we'll be living then.
Yeah. You're
So,
like, maybe Hawaii, maybe who knows? You're like, we'll
yes.
start thinking about that. But yeah, that's crazy. What would has he talked about like thinking that far ahead? Like, does he have something he might want to go
Yeah.
into specifically or
So we've talked about opening a gym for him.
oh, that'd be cool. He'd love that.
So he would.
Yeah.
And he likes doing like the workouts with the schools and stuff. Because he
Okay.
is a coach with the girls wrestling program and a
Oh yeah.
coach with the football program at the high school. And just doing like the athletic director, maybe, I don't know. So
That'd
we
be
talked
cool.
about maybe opening a gym for him. So we'll see.
That'd be so cool. Cause and
Yeah.
how old will he be when he's quote retired? Which is when you go in so young, right? In the military, you should, as you should, be able to retire and have benefits
Hmm.
early. So how old will he
Yeah.
be?
So he would be like 38, 39.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
He
then
would
you
be
guys,
at 20 years. Yeah.
yeah, that's so
And
great.
he said he doesn't want to serve a day pass, which is fine with me. Great.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, 20 years is a very long time, right? For
yes,
sure.
because he
Yeah.
joined at 17.
Yeah. That's awesome. And
Hmm.
like, I love when people actually can retire young and go live their
Hmm.
life. Like, I think people, Bobby and I always talk about this. Like, you see people, they work and they're, I don't know, whatever, 65, 70, 75, or whatever. And they're retiring and then their spouse gets sick or something happens. And it's like
I
you
know.
waited your whole life to quote retire and enjoy life. But then something happens. It's like, no, I will retire as early as possible while
Yes.
we're young to go enjoy our lives, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the girls will only be like 11 and 13, I
That's
think, when he
awesome.
retires. I said you could go be a golf cart greeter for all I care. Just
Like
to, like kind of
literally.
get out of the house and like
Yeah,
live your best life. You deserve it at that point in my eyes.
for sure. My cousin Jason always said when he got out of the army, he'd be a Walmart greeter. Like,
Yes.
just like chatting with people, you leave, you're not thinking about it at all, right? Like,
Hmm.
like a good mindless but fun job, right?
Things
Truly, like go do it.
follow you home. Like we've had
Mm-hmm.
people call in the middle of the night. Um, somebody called him from jail the other day. Like,
Yeah.
it's wild. It's we could go on and on just his stories.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I remember my cousin has bailed because when they're your guys, like you have to go
Yes.
get him out of jail in the middle of the night, and you're and like,
Hmm.
really, what, knock it off! Like,
Yes.
what are you doing? Oh yes, it's crazy. So yes, he does not. He deserves like be done, have a big party, and then maybe rest for a while and not do anything, and then you'll be like, "Hey, babe, I love you, but like get out of the house,
Yeah.
go do something now," because now you're just wandering around and you're
Yes.
annoying me and staring at me. You're like, "What are you doing today?" You're like, "I'm working, but thanks, bye."
Yeah. I see lots of golf in his future.
Yeah, I love that. So, what is, I want to hear what's exciting to you the most about opening your own business and what's scaring you the most?
I think what's exciting the most, is not having to look for a job and like all the rejection and stuff.
Hmm.
And then what's scaring me is like the unknown. Like, will it take off in the way that I see, and will it succeed like I'm
Hmm.
hoping and seeing, or will it fall flat on its face?
Hmm.
You just never know. And like, especially in today's economy, and like, am I shooting too high with the prices, or you just
Hmm.
never know. So I'm definitely trying to use like all my resources that I have here, before I completely leave.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And, like I know you connected with a friend of mine who I just met, and she
Yes.
has like a CP, like an accounting firm. And she just many years ago, she said, before it was like a thing, before working digitally was a thing, she only hired stay-at-home moms, and people were like, they are gonna, that's not gonna work. That's dumb.
Yes,
And she's like, well, I believe it is. And she's like, now that's a thing, right? But I love that
it
she was
is.
just hiring stay-at-home moms. You could even do the same too. You could hire whoever you want, but like military spouses or something like that.
Yes.
And even if they have zero experience, you could train them, because look at
Oh,
what you're providing,
100%.
then they can work for you wherever they go.
Yep.
Yep. I love
It's
that.
really a big thing. And like, I had no experience in construction or home building,
Yeah.
before I started working here. You can learn anything that you're willing to want to learn,
Yeah.
or want to learn. Like, anytime I've moved, I've gone into a different field.
And then you
Some
excel and learn it.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
somebody I've just applied for jobs, like, been willing and open to learn something,
Hmm.
and excelled at everything because I've been willing and open and wanting to learn anything that I can do. And I've always been told knowledge is power.
For sure. And like you're a hard worker. So what you learn in this field, I mean,
Mhm.
you might not take the like actual things you learned into the next thing, but you take something from it to make you
You
stronger in the
do.
next one for sure. And I love that we're both now somehow in construction, that like we
Yes.
would never have planned this. Like, what is happening? But I mean, that alone is, I had lunch with another friend. She is a forensic accountant for construction
Yes.
companies. So like when she got called for a job in Denver, there was millions of dollars of fraud, and she has to go through all the books and she found it. And I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
God, you're such a nerd. I love this. Like in a good way. I would
It's
look at that and be like, no clue. I don't even know where to start. Right. But
Yep.
construction is such a niche field that I think people, like with pay apps or certified payroll or like all these specific things of construction,
Mhm.
people don't understand. And they also like, I have to her like my money. I always have a ton of money standing out there, like
Mhm.
because they pay, it's pay when paid or all these things, right? So, like
Yes.
that's a totally different niche field that I think if you focus on that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not a lot of people understand that.
No, and a lot of times you have the owner is out there in the field working with whoever.
Yes.
So the only time that they have to sit down at the computer is late at night.
And it's
And
exhausting.
it's exhausting. Do they really want to? No, they don't.
No.
Two, do they really understand QuickBooks? No.
Yeah.
And the margins in home building and remodeling are really small. So
Mm.
you start messing up or you're really not tracking it properly, you're really losing money and you're not going to make a lot of money. So you have to be tracking it properly in order to be making money. And so you want to make sure that you are tracking it properly.
Mhm.
And unless you're really sitting down and doing it as it's going, then you're not getting in, hitting your numbers and seeing where the overages are or seeing where the overspending is.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing all that. And these owners aren't doing that because they're so busy.
For sure. And like you said, a lot of small businesses, it's maybe a 1 to 2 person thing and they are in the field doing the work.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it is exhausting and they just need somebody to like handle it for them. So I love
Hmm.
that. I love that.
So it's worth their money just to pay somebody.
For sure. And also, like, you don't want to look at the very end of the job and be like, oh my gosh, we lost money. You should be, like you said, looking the whole way through to be like,
Yes.
okay, well, hey, this, and of course, stuff always happens, right? This happened. It cost us more than we thought. Well, is there something else that we can make up that money on moving forward
Exactly.
or whatever? And be like strategic about it and not just be like,
Mm.
oh, dang it, we lost a bunch of money at the end.
Yes. There's
Yeah,
always something that you could kind of change your maneuver. I mean, things do happen all the
for
time,
sure.
but there's always something that you could kind of maneuver or something or figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I know you and Kyle just graduated together
We
now,
did.
just a couple weeks ago. Now, talk to me about that and how hard that was and how important it was to have your girls there watching you guys.
So, a lot of people don't know that in the military, depending on whenever they joined, the service member gets what's called a GI Bill.
Mhm.
They can either keep it for themselves whenever they get out, or they can share it with, we're called dependents.
Mhm.
So Kyle gave me 11 months and gave each of the girls a year. He had to
Okay.
keep 1 month so that way he can continue to find out if anything changes.
Mm.
So whenever I went back to school, I was crazy and said, I want no debt. So what do I need to do to finish
Mm.
my bachelor's in 11 months? And
And also being a mom and working a full-time job, like no big deal.
yes,
No big
no
deal.
big deal. And my kids are in crazy sports and everything.
Mhm.
And they told me all of these ways that I could finish it. And I did last August, and then I got my conferral date in like December. Kyle's been like working on his. His is different with him being active duty. Like they're only allowed to spend a certain amount of money
Okay.
throughout their fiscal year without using their GI Bill.
Oh, okay.
Well, then we also had like the government shutdown and stuff like that. So we ended
Mm.
up spending money out of our pocket to make sure he graduated with me.
Yeah.
And at that point I didn't care. Like it was really important for us to graduate together. I don't know many husband and wives who graduate together, especially like at our age with two kids, both
For
working. Like
sure.
I think it's great.
It's very rare. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he had like just finished his last class like a couple weeks prior to us walking. And we flew out to Washington, D.C., and we graduated with the American Military University. Well, his is American Military University, mine's American Public University
Mm.
because I'm a spouse. Same university, but
Just,
um,
yeah.
and so we took the girls with us. It was a really big thing for us to have our kids there and for them to witness all of our hard work because one, there was many nights that they wanted to do something and we had to study or we had
Yeah.
homework and we wanted them to see like all this hard work paid off for this. Like if you guys work hard and do all this, this is what happens. And they were so proud. Like one time they told us to go stand by our sign and like take our
Oh,
picture,
cute.
and it was cute. And
Oh.
so um whenever we walked down, they weren't going to let us walk together. One lady wasn't. And I was like, yeah, I'm not taking that for an answer. So we both like sat separately. And then when I stood up to walk, they had like the business go first and health science was like next. I asked another lady, she was like, oh, yeah, yeah, have him come over. So I like had my phone because you had to scan your phone and it said your name.
Okay, I wondered. Yeah, I thought you either gave them a
Yeah.
piece of paper or something. Yeah.
No, you had to
Interesting.
like scan your stage
Digital
pass,
now.
which was on your phone.
Okay.
And so I call him, I'm like, hey, come over here. And he's like, where are you? I'm just like, at the far side. This lady will find
Run,
you.
run.
I'm like, hurry, come over here. And this lady's like standing there, like waving at
Oh,
him. And the lady who told me no was like giving us a dirty look. But I was like, I don't care. This is our moment. Like,
absolutely.
you're not going to stop us from this. Like, one lady walked with her dog, some people were
Really.
walking with their children.
Oh,
I'm like, no, like,
we will
so we
make this
walked
happen.
one after another, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer. And the girls were told us they were so proud of us
Mm,
after. And now he's talking about going and getting his master's, and
yeah,
I think it's amazing.
that's so good. You're like, okay,
So,
I'm going to start a company. You get your master's.
yeah, I was like, I'm going to start a business, and you go get your master's. You do
Oh,
that.
I love it. Well, I'm very proud of you and both of you. And it is, I mean, it's one thing to just, when you're out of high school, going to college, whatever. That's one thing. What you guys did is totally harder, totally like more deserving. Like you
Hmm.
did this with kids, jobs, life, right? And as a married couple and family. So yeah, just congratulations. Very proud of you guys. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you're stubborn like me. Like we're feisty sometimes. So you're like, I will be walking with him.
Yes.
No, you literally cannot stop me. We will just rush the stage if we need to.
Right.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Of course.
I'm so proud of you and I'm so grateful for you. And just, I can't wait to see in 5-10 years. Like, who knows, girl? You just, yeah, you're doing big things. So keep showing your
Thanks.
girls how to be an awesome woman and mom and just, yeah, keep doing all these awesome things.
Thanks.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. And always remember, no BS, just real vibes. We'll see you next time. If you loved the episode, share it on Instagram and tag me so I can say thank you and meet you. Or share it with a girlfriend who you know would love this too. Always remember, no BS, just real vibes. See you next time on Lip Service and Lashes.